Thank you. Greetings, Jamaica. Greetings, Jamaica. Greetings, African people. When I was invited to do this, I had two plans. One where I would come here and speak from my heart, and another where, after I finish walking for 6.5 hours, I might have to turn to my notes. And guess what? The notes is going to do it today because I am so exhausted. Now, today marks another unforgettable moment in our history, a moment that we must always treasure. Let us give thanks for life, for without life it is impossible for us to change, to make a difference in our country. I would like to thank Claude Sinclair for inviting me to this revolutionary journey. When he first extended the invitation, I was uncertain if I could make it. But when he asked me if I was ready to walk in purpose, I knew I could not say no, for I have been waiting for this moment. I have been seeking the opportunity to walk in purpose. I also want to thank the Paul Bogle Foundation for allowing me to participate in this historical journey. I feel so connected to this movement, to this time of transformation and change. KLAS-FM and One Nation Together Peace Concert is a wonderful endeavor. Peace, being the operative word here, is what Jamaica needs. It's what the black man and woman, boy and girl need in this time. For without peace, we will all perish. But what is peace and how can we attain it? The first thing we have to do is rethink the way we deal with our differences. For this is the theme tonight. How do we go about embracing our differences at the time? The first thing we have to do is try to provoke change in our country. Every person must answer these questions for him or herself. Number one, what do we have to do to cultivate and maintain love for each other in a meaningful way? Number two, how can we lessen the divide that separates our brothers and sisters on this beautiful island of Jamaica? Three, what can we do to stop violence at home? How are we going to obtain peace in these days of uncertainty? The underlying problem that causes violence and crime in Jamaica is a lack of love and respect for self and others. We don't love ourselves, so we do not know how to love others in our country. Many of us do not know our history. We just know what the slave masters told us, our lives. We are told that our ancestors were slaves, so we resign ourselves to the idea. Many of us see no greatness in the average man or woman or child because we believe our history started and ended with slavery. True freedom must come when we know this is not true. When we see virtue in each other, there is no room to victimize self or the other. There will be no reason to lie, steal, or kill a brother or sister. We have to let go of the shame associated with being African, being poor. We've got to start seeing ourselves as kings and queens, take pride in knowing that we come from royalty. As Jamaicans, we are people who stand up and claim victory in every arena. This is a true test to who we are as Africans. We still know how to celebrate our people. For when Usain Bolt and our athletes win, we all win. There is nothing that separates us at this time of celebration. Men, women, and children come together at this time, and there is no rich or poor, no educated or uneducated, no godly or ungodly dichotomy. These differences disappear when we become one. We are not fully aware of our heritage because we lost touch with our African roots. So we are left to figure out who we are because we don't know the power that exists in us. We resort to hating each other, seeing each other as the enemy, when the real enemy stand by and watch us kill each other. One of our greatest leaders, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey, said, "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is a tree without roots." We've got to return to our roots. We've got to pay homage to our ancestors as we did today. Our forebears endured unspeakable violence that shattered their bodies and minds and spirits. But out of the dust of slavery, they rose to reclaim their freedom and ours. We take this for granted. We shame them every time we reject our African ancestry. When we curse and kill each other, we tell them that the blood sacrifice they made was in vain. The wicked things done to black people past and present affects our psyche. So much so that our mind needs to be detoxified. We have to shed unhealthy thoughts and action that cause us to look down on each other in this society. The only way to truly find peace is to separate ourselves from self-hate and prejudice. The idea that your education or money makes you better than someone else, your light skin make you more important than someone else, these ideas have to go. It is our differences that make us unique, that bring us together to weave this beautiful tapestry we call Jamaica. If you understand that we are nothing without each other, then half the battle is won. We have to release ourselves from ego, selfishness, and greed. We have to cleanse our minds from this inferior and superior complex that keep us in bondage. We know how to come together when there's a natural disaster like the one we had recently. We manage to come together in harmony. We must do this at all times. We must return to the way of our ancestors. For them, it took a village to raise a child. We must not abuse our kids, but must teach and raise them with morals and values. We have to return to a time when the success of neighbor's child meant a celebration for everyone. When we solve our differences with violence, we weaken our race and send a message to the world that we can be separated and destroyed. Beauty lies in the coming together of our people, so we must learn how to embrace and respect people's ideas, talents, and social position, even if they differ from our own. We have to learn to walk away from arguments that threaten the safety of our brothers or sisters. When the black man or the black person truly learns to love each other, no one can violate us. No one can penetrate our borders. A strong community will lead to a strong country. If everyone sees each other as an ally, we will create borders that no one can penetrate. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. This is the only way to obtain perfect peace between brethren. We have got to start embracing our African heritage, educating ourselves about the powerful people of the past and present. We must remember our ancestors were violently ripped away from their homes, lost their language and culture. Because of that, many of us have no spirit, so we no longer connect to each other spiritually. We have to quit telling ourselves that anything too black is not good. We have got to quit using our privileges to abuse others in this society. We have to stop ignoring the plight of the poor and needy, for in so doing, we create animosity in our midst. When we show love to the greatest and the least among us, we create harmony, which acts as a catalyst in building a strong nation. Peace comes when you develop acceptance for self and community. Peace comes from knowing and loving the other person as yourself. We are beautiful people. We are strong people. We are loving people. We know how to come together when it's necessary. And so I encourage you to bond together in your communities, in your schools, in your country, and watch us grow from strength to strength. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.
All the way from Toronto, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, she came here to St. Thomas to serve you, the people, and to show respect to one of our great heroes, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take time out and big up Mr. Paul Elliott in the building. We want to take time out and big up Vicky Crawford. We want to take time out and big up Julie Sinclair. But the Jungle King Roots Group, are you ready? The Jungle King Roots Group, are you ready? Okay? We're moving right along because we're going live, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on an international reggae artist, an artist that has toured the world, doing songs and great songs that Greg Rice did over the years. And he's now known as Mr. Shindig Jr. Sinclair. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Mr. Claude Sinclair. Now, before I do a song, I have to give respect because respect is due. We're here today for the Honorable Paul Bogle, but all heroes, some remarkable persons in their own rights, dedicated their lives to promoting equality, liberty, and justice for all. Were a direct beneficiary of their sacrifice, service, and work as champions of human rights. Their legacy will continue to encourage many individuals like myself, Junior Shindig Sinclair, to live with integrity, pride, courage, and faith. And I want to leave a mark on this generation. Can you just hit number 5 for me, please? As we have the honor of the order of distinction by the government of Jamaica. Now, there's another thing. We have to give respect, as I said, because respect is due. I've embarked on a song about the national heroes, and this is a song for every child, every home, every school. Could you play in honor of Paul Bogle, because Paul Bogle has done so much for us, so many things, and he deserves a few minutes.